My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network on a very special anniversary for this podcast because it was 5 years ago today, 5 years ago today, we dropped our very first ever episode talking to Sophie. And I can't believe, 5 years later, still here talking about Disney World. Things have come, things have gone. So just wanted to say a massive thank you. If you've been a guest on the podcast, if you've just listened to the podcast, if you shared the podcast and told your friends about it, a massive thank you, because I couldn't do it without you. Obviously, I couldn't do it without Mickey Mouse and Disney, but without you, well, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself about Disney World, which, to be honest, I probably still would carry on doing if nobody was listening. But just wanted to say a big thank you. 5 years of the podcast. Here's to another 5 years. Because, of course, we're here every other week. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Hit that subscribe button. You'll get that new episode coming every other week. You can also follow us on the socials. @PodMagical is where we are. If you want to be a podcast guest or if you've got any questions, just give me a shout. Give us a like and a follow over there. This episode, we're going to talk to Charlotte. We'll talk about renting DVC points on this episode. We'll also talk about Christmas at Walt Disney World because we've had a lot of announcements since the last podcast. And we have questions. I've had two questions actually this week that have come in, both about breakfast at Topolino's Terrace. Firstly, Louise wants to know, how high up is Topolino's Terrace? I'd like to go. My husband doesn't do lifts. I've tried to find out this. From my memory, I think it's on the 10th floor, maybe 11th, maybe even 12th, but it's on at least the 10th floor. They will have stairs, so if he doesn't do lifts, you could walk it up and down. You could burn off all those pastries that you get. Another question from Paul about Topolino's Terrace. Bit of a random question. Andy, we're thinking of booking breakfast at Topolino's for our trip in August. I know you said you like it there. For the money, what do you get besides the entree? Is it just bacon and eggs? Because that seems quite pricey. Well, you get the pastries when you come. It comes in like a little paint pot, so cute little pastries. If you eat all them, you can always ask for more. You used to be able to get a side dish. So you get the pastries, you get your pog juice and your teas and your coffees and soft drinks like that. And then you get a main. Now, it used to be you could have your main, and then they used to say, well, if you want another main, we can bring you a smaller portion of that, which I believe they don't do anymore. So, yeah, all you're getting is your pastries and your main, and your character meets and a beautiful view from the 10th, possibly 11th or 12th story. It is good. I always go over do Topolino's Terrace, and I haven't done it for the last few visits. It's one of them. I will do it every now and then. I always like to go, because it's only breakfast with characters, but breakfast does go on till kind of like midday-ish, and there is a brilliant steak on the menu, so that is the best value for money. It's good character interaction. It's always fun up there, and the food is good, but you don't get as much as you would for the same price if you go to like one of the buffets, with one of the character buffets. But at least you don't have the chaos of a buffet. It's slightly a little bit classier. Hope that answers your questions about Topolino's Terrace. If you've got any questions about dining or planning or anything like that, give me a shout. @PodMagical is where we are. Charlotte is on the podcast, and guess what? We were at Disney World at the same time, weren't we?
Yes.
We were.
Seems like so long ago now.
It was a couple of months ago now, but have you got another one planned? Another one in the books?
Well, we're looking at going next year, but I have Disney Cruise in August, and then we're going to Alani in September as well.
Oh, incredible. Which Disney cruise are you going on?
From Southampton, so we live relatively near here. We're doing a 4-night to Spain.
Oh, nice, on the Disney Dream.
Yes.
Excellent. Scratches that Disney. Have you done a Disney cruise before?
Yeah, so we did 2 of the staycations on the Magic, and then in 2022 we did one on the Dream from Port Canaveral to Nassau and Costa Key.
I would love to go on the Magic. I missed that when it was the staycations one just after COVID. But yeah, the Magic's the only one I've not been on. And it's, 27 years old now, the Magic? So I'm thinking, it might not have long left. I need to go on the Magic.
Yeah,
especially.
I want to go on the Wonder as well.
Yeah, the Wonder's nice. I've done the Wonder in Alaska, and the Wonder and the Magic are very similar, aren't they? They're sister ships. Anyway, let's talking about Disney World. To say we were there at the same time. We had good weather. Didn't rain a single day, did it?
No, I think that's the first time I've ever been where it hasn't rained at all.
I was saying that, and people say, "Oh yeah, but obviously you got the little showers in the afternoon." I was like, "No, not one spot of rain in 2 weeks," which was just unbelievable. Apparently, it was a 3-week stretch; they didn't have any rain at all. So, where did you stay on your last trip?
So we did 8 nights at Pop Century and then 7 nights at Wilderness Lodge.
Oh, and why did you decide to go to those resorts?
So we like Pop because it's on the Skyliner route. It's really convenient, especially for Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And then we've been to Wilderness Lodge once before and we really loved it there. So this time we did it. We rented DVC points and stayed at Boulder Ridge. It was really good.
Oh, and was that quite easy to do, renting DVC points? Because I've heard a lot of people say, oh, they've done that and it works out a lot cheaper than actually buying the hotel rooms.
Yeah, it's so easy. We used a website called David's DVC Rentals, and you just put in your dates, select any resorts that you're interested in. Then you have to make a request and they'll see if it's available on the calendar. And then if it's not, they'll give you other options. It's really easy. I'd say sometimes it's even about half price.
Wow. And when you've booked
really
it,
good.
does that then you get a confirmation code and that just links into your My Disney experience just as like a normal reservation would be?
So you put your request in and you only have to pay $100 and then they confirm if you have it or not. And it will even show up after that before you've even paid anything else.
All right.
So it's really easy.
And you get the perks of having a DVC room, which has got like the little microwaves and the coffee machines and the sink and stuff. Did you have just a studio or did you go for a one bed?
Yeah, we had the studio this time. We did with Toby's family last summer. We went to Alani and did a 2-bedroom there. So that was really cool.
Oh, wow. So what do you love about Walt Disney World? What makes you want to keep going back, Charlotte?
I just love the escapism and being in the Disney bubble, really. So Toby and I both have pretty busy lives at home and just not having to worry about anything. All your focus is just on Disney whilst you're there. And then probably one of our favourite things is the food in Disney.
Oh, let's get talking about food then. Let's just go straight in. Where do you like to eat at Disney World?
One of our favourites is probably Ohana.
Mm-hmm.
Quick service, maybe Roaring Fork at Wilderness Lodge. So I'm gluten-free and I limit a lot of dairy as well.
Right, okay.
And Disney is like nowhere else, really. They just take care of it and everything's so easy.
So having food allergies, do you know where is good for you to go at Disney World? Or do you go, do you know what, I know I'm going to be pretty safe anywhere and they'll like look after you? How does that work? Most
places will cater for you. I would probably avoid non-Disney owned restaurants, so some of the Disney Springs restaurants and then some of them on World Showcase and Epcot aren't owned by Disney.
Okay.
But pretty much everywhere will cater. Sometimes the little food trucks don't, but in general, it's really good. They always have something and it always tastes really good, which is even better.
And when you go to Ohana, I'm assuming you're talking about dinner at Ohana, because obviously you get the noodles and you get the meats coming around and the salad and stuff. Do you get exactly the same thing or is it like slightly modified what they give you?
It is slightly modified. You get rice instead of noodles and you don't get the pot stickers, but everything else, all the meat and the salad you get, and then the dessert, I get a separate one, but it's the same sort of thing.
Okay. I'm guessing you won't get the ice cream.
You get a dairy-free ice cream.
Okay, so you can still get that dessert?
Yeah, they didn't used to get a donut, but now they've made one that is almost the same.
Yeah, because the banana bread pudding is like the best thing about going to Ohana.
Yeah, everybody says that.
So you don't feel like you miss out? That's really good. So when was the first time you went to Disney World? When was your first trip? What do you remember about that?
So the first time I went was actually in 2004 with my parents. I was only 5. We stayed at All Star Movies for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't remember a great deal about it, but I remember arriving to the All Stars, which is larger than life, loads of Disney characters. on the coach, which I don't know if they had Magical Express then, but it was definitely that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The highlight of that trip was probably Chef Mickey's, which is great for kids and it's just a really fun restaurant. Don't remember that much, but I've seen lots of photos.
Yeah, definitely a first thing to do. A first trip place to eat is definitely Chef Mickey's, where I haven't been for a while, actually, to Chef Mickey's. I need to put it back on my list.
Yes, me either. I did see it this time, though, and I would like to go back.
It's difficult, though, isn't it? Because when you keep going back, you kind of like accumulate your favourites, and your list of favourite restaurants that you've got to go back to keeps getting longer every time. So unless you're like eating at 2 restaurants a day, it's impossible to do everything, isn't it?
You need about 6 weeks to cover all the ones you like.
Well, there's the answer there, Charlotte. Next time we go, we'll just go for 6 weeks.
Yes.
Eat our way around. I love that idea. Do you have a particular favourite memory?
My favourite memory is probably the first time we went to California Grill. It was in 2017, and it was mine and Toby's first trip to Florida together. We also had the free dining plan, so it was really exciting just to be able to choose anything you wanted on the menu.
Yeah.
I had lobster, which is one of my favourite foods, and the atmosphere in there is just really nice. Yeah, I hadn't been with Toby before, and I also hadn't had the dining plan.
And how many times had he been before to Disney World?
I think around 5.
Oh, okay, then. And is that why you connected?
No, not actually. It just happened that we'd both been, which is very good.
It helps, though, doesn't it, in a relationship if you both love going to Disney World?
Yes.
Do you have different favourite attractions then when you go together? Have you got a favourite and has he got a different favourite?
Well, yeah. So this is probably an unpopular opinion, but my favourite is Toy Story Mania.
Okay.
And he really doesn't like it.
Is that because he loses? Is that why he doesn't like it?
Well, he usually does lose, but I think I try a lot harder than him, so that's probably why.
Just a little bit competitive, Charlotte, by any chance?
Yes.
And what's his favourite attraction then?
Big Thunder Mountain, which I like too, so that's okay.
Okay, so he's a bit of a fan of a roller coaster and a white knuckle ride.
We both really enjoyed Guardians this time as well. I think it's probably the best ride. I still like Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, the favourite. And do you venture out to anywhere else when you go to Orlando?
We've been to Universal before. I haven't been on the past couple of trips, but I would like to go back. Especially when the Nintendo World is open. That looks really good.
Yeah, well, we've got the new theme park just like months away now, I think, isn't it? Well, early next year. So definitely a reason to go.
I've seen the California one, so I think it will be really, really good. And then we usually go to the outlets once maybe on a trip, but we don't really like to leave Disney too much.
When you went to the outlets, did you go to the Disney store? Because I went last time and I found the queue to get in was just ridiculous. So we never made it in the actual shop.
Yes, we did. The queue was really long, probably about 45 minutes. And I saw this cruise lounge fly that I really wanted, but by the time we got there, it had gone.
No.
They didn't actually have too much that I liked in there this time.
No.
But sometimes it's good. I guess it's just luck.
Was it worth the trip over there? And then was it worth the 45-minute wait to get in, would you say?
Probably not. No, it was really hot that day as well.
Yeah.
So
stay in the parks, pay full price.
Yes.
We'll be back with Charlotte in just a moment. A news update from Walt Disney World and the return of Fast Pass. Well, it's not the return of Fast Pass, but it may as well be. So Disney currently 2 paid Skip the Line products. We've got Genie Plus, which lets you book multiple return times for a lot of attractions throughout the parks. And then we've got the individual lightning lanes, the Trons, the Seven Dwarfs, the most in-demand rides. And 7 o'clock every day, you've got to get on and you've got to book it. Well, all that is changing from next month, starting July the 24th. You can book all your Walt Disney World lightning lanes for your entire trip in advance, up to 14 days. You can do this 3 days in advance if you're not staying at Disney, 7 days in advance if you are staying at Disney. And also Genie Plus is now called Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. That's the new name for it, so forget Genie Plus. Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. And then the individual Lightning Lanes, they are now Lightning Lane Single Pass. That's what you need to know. Now, when you are booking your 3 individual Lightning Lanes in advance, you can only do it for one park. Remember, that's what we used to do when it was the old Fast Pass Plus, remember the old days? And also the tier system. So at Magic Kingdom, you can either choose Big Thunder, Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan, Space Mountain, or Tiana. You can only have one of those, and then another 2 from basically any of the ones like Barnstormer or PhiloMagic or Winnie the Pooh or whatever. Or you can have all three from the other one if you like. Same goes for Epcot. Your top tier will be Frozen, Remy or Soarin', and then 2 from anywhere else. Hollywood Studios, Mickey and Minnie, Smuggler's Run, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog, and then 2 for anywhere else. There are no tiers for Animal Kingdom, but obviously remember, if you're going to go on Flight of Passage, they are still the individual lightning lanes, the single ones. So the individual lightning lanes remain the same, might as well tell you. So Seven Dwarfs and Tron at Magic Kingdom, Guardians at Epcot, Rise Resistance Hollywood Studios, and Avatar Flight of Passage over at Animal Kingdom. So when can you book? 7 days in advance if you're staying at Walt Disney World, 7 a.m., 7 days before you go, 7 a.m. Eastern time, so that will be midday for us. Again, midday, 7 a.m. Eastern, 3 days before if you're not staying at Disney World. But as I say, you can book your entire trip. Or if you want to just go and have a look at what's available, you can do that as well. There's none of this 2-hour rule. Remember before you used to be able to book one and then 2 hours later you could book another and people used to stack. Don't worry about that one. Virtual queues still remain as well. You can book 3 return times for your first park. So you want to book all 3 for Magic Kingdom, you can do that. Once you use your first lightning lane, you can then book a lightning lane for anywhere else that is available. I've told you about the tiers. We don't know about the pricing yet. And also, this is really important. There's a lot of rumours flying around that you have to be in America to do this. I have not had this confirmed, so it might be that if you want to pre-book your individual lightning lanes, you might have to use a VPN. That was what was announced this week. I'm not clear on the UK rule, but that will start in a few weeks' time. And other things that we can talk about on this podcast, talking all things Christmas, the holidays, getting very festive, because basically everything Christmassy was announced this week, including the return of Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios. This is a separate ticketed party. It was the debut last year. It was quite controversial. The first few nights were a bit of a disaster, but they seem to get it sorted out for the rest of it. Well, it is back. It is longer. It's a 5-hour party from 7:30 to just after midnight. This year, there are 20 unique characters to meet, including Santa Duffy. Also, will be photo opportunities. Some of the shows will be back. So there's the Disney in Hollywood with Kermit and Miss Piggy. There's the Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along. There's Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. But also there's an ice skating show, which is being added this year. Tickets will go on sale on the 10th of July. If you have already got a reservation to be at Disney World in a Disney hotel, your tickets will be available from the 2nd of July. Dates, there's various dates throughout November and December, starting from the 9th of November up to the 21st of December. Ticket prices between $159 and $179 plus tax. Obviously, they change varying to the date. If you're a DVC member or an annual pass member, you might save $10 on your ticket. So that's Hollywood Studios. That's their Christmas party. And of course, the old favourite, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, will be back as well for its festive run at Magic Kingdom. This will include your treats like your hot chocolate and your snacks, and there's the castle show, and there's the parade. November the 8th is the first Christmas party at the Magic Kingdom. 20th of December will be the last one. There's quite a lot of those. Again, 2nd of July, if you're a guest, that's when you can get your tickets. Not much has changed for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Epcot's Festival of the Holidays will return as well. That always starts after Thanksgiving. So November the 29th up to New Year's Eve. There's also festive offerings at Animal Kingdom as well. The Merry Menagerie is back. Also as well, you will get the Christmas tree stroll at Disney Springs and the gingerbread houses at the hotels as well. So that's all been announced. There's a lot going on. All the links to that from our socials at Pod Magical is where we are. One other story that's not Disney World related, but this is Disney related. You may know that Disney's Frozen in the West End will be closing in September. It's had a good run in the theatre in the West End. Well, a new Disney musical is going to be opening on the West End stage. Disney's Hercules is going to be opening in London next summer. So Frozen finishes this summer and then it's got a bit of a break. They'll do all the staging, they'll set the theatre up, and Disney's Hercules, which has had a bit of a run in Germany, in German, we get it here in the UK next year. That is exciting. Really looking forward to that. News about that as well on our socials, and anything else that happens between now and the next podcast. Give us a like, give us a follow at Pod Magical. Charlotte is with us on this episode of the podcast. We mentioned that last time you went on a split stay in Disney renting out DVC points. Have you got a particular favourite place to stay in Disney? Have you got a particular favourite resort that you love going back to?
Probably actually Wilderness Lodge, where we just stayed, because it feels close to Magic King. It is close to Magic Kingdom, but it doesn't feel too close. It's not too busy or overrun by non-resort guests. For example, we did one night in the Polynesian a couple of years ago, and it was really great resort. We loved it, but it was just so busy all the time, and I think that's because it was on the monorail loop, and also people go for Ohana and things.
And Trader Sam's.
But this has a great theming, and you just wouldn't know that Magic Kingdom's just around the corner.
And how was it getting to the parks from there? Because it's the little boat, isn't it, from there to actual Magic Kingdom?
Yes, it was. The boat ride is really nice. Sometimes I think it is a bit slow because sometimes they only have one boat going there and back, but there is an option of the bus as well, so it wasn't too bad. All
right, so you can get a bus from Wilderness Lodge over to Magic Kingdom?
Yes, yeah, it has bus option too, but I think it doesn't come as regularly as the other buses.
I never knew that. I never knew that one. Have you got any guilty pleasures?
I like, for some reason, Speedway as well. I just find it really fun, but I know not a lot of people do.
It's because it's so difficult to steer. It doesn't matter how you try and steer those cars. They just go where they want.
Yeah, you just have to go with it, like banging on the sides.
Yeah, just put your foot down and just hope that you go in a certain direction.
Yeah.
Is there anything you don't like about Disney World?
I don't like the new Genie Plus. I thought the Fast Bus Plus was much better.
I was a big fan of booking the 60 days out. Did you actually use it this time, or did you find yourself not needing it? Did you use it and get frustrated?
Yeah, we used it, not the whole trip, but for a couple of days. I just found that you had to spend so much time on your phone, and it was a bit stressful trying to book them all, rather than before you had your 3 and then you didn't really have to worry for the rest of the day.
Did you find the days you did use Disney Plus, you got on probably around the same amount of attractions as you did if you didn't use Disney Plus and you just queued normally? What was the difference? Did you notice a difference in the number of attractions you were actually getting on when you'd paid?
Yeah, I thought for Magic Kingdom it was a lot better. Yeah. You could do a lot of attractions because I guess there's not so many people going for them. But for Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, where there's not a lot of rides, it didn't really seem worth it because you could get most of them done in about half a day anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to give you your perfect day at Disney World, Charlotte. You can stay where you want. You can do what you want. Talk me through it. What would be your perfect 24 hours at Disney World?
I would stay at a cabin in Wilderness Lodge if money was no object.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would spend the morning at the pool there and have lunch at Geyser Point. I'd probably have the bison burger.
Oh, I had that. I didn't think it was worth the money. Sorry to interrupt, but it was a very good burger.
Oh.
No, it was like $28 for a burger. It was very good, but I was like, is it worth $28? But it is a good burger.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people do rave about it a lot, so it could be underwhelming.
And also, it's nice sitting out there by the lake at Geyser Point. It is a nice place to sit.
Yeah,
anyway, sorry, carry on. You've got your burger.
Yeah, so I've had my burger, and then I would get a minivan to Hollywood Studios and do Toy Story Mania and Rise. And then after this, I would want to go to Magic Kingdom, but on the way, I would stop at Beaches and Cream and get a No Way Jose sundae.
Okay.
And then at Magic Kingdom, I'd ride Seven Dwarfs, Big Thunder Mountain, and if it was still there, Splash Mountain.
Would it be the old Splash Mountain, or would it be the new Tiana Bayou Adventure?
I don't feel that I can comment yet because I haven't been on it, but I have seen videos and I think I would prefer Splash Mountain.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah, you've got to ride it yourself, haven't you? You can't really judge just by... These rides are not made for people to watch on YouTube, they're made to be ridden. So that's when you really should make your assumptions, I think.
Yes, I'll figure it out next time.
Yeah. And where are you finishing the night? You finishing your night in Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, I would probably go to Ohana for dinner and then come back to Magic Kingdom to watch Happily Ever After.
And then get the little boat back over to Wilderness Lodge.
Yes.
Back to the cabin. It sounds like a perfect day. So talking about little boats, you've got a bigger boat to get on for your next Disney trip. You're going to be sailing on the Disney Dream very soon.
Yes. They came here last summer, but we didn't do any from the UK, so I'm excited to see what that's like.
Definitely. And then did you say you're going over to Hawaii, to Aulani?
Yes, it's my mum's 60th birthday in the summer, so we're taking a family trip.
Oh, incredible. Have you been there before?
Yes, once before. I didn't know if I'd be able to go back, so...
It's because it's so far away. How long is the flight over to Hawaii? It's like 18 hours or something, the 2 flights?
Yeah. Well, you have to stop on the West Coast first. So that's about 11 hours and then another 6 to Honolulu.
And what's Alani actually like?
All the best parts of Disney without the stress, I think.
Yeah. Disney in paradise. It was designed by Joe Rohde, wasn't it? So you could imagine it's kind of like a Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge type atmosphere in the actual resort itself.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most authentic Hawaiian resorts I saw as well, which is really good.
And what else did you do in Hawaii? Have you got a plan? Did you go over to Waikiki or to Pearl Harbor or the Dole Plantation or anything like that? Did you do all those kind of things?
Yeah, so I think we'll probably go to the Dole Plantation. Waikiki Beach is good as well. And then there's another beach called Lanikai Beach, which is really pretty, probably better than Waikiki because there wasn't so many tourists.
Yeah. I've heard that Waikiki is very touristy. It's like just an average small city that just happens to have a beach at the end of it.
Yeah, if you didn't see the beach, you probably wouldn't know you were in Hawaii.
Ah, okay. The reason I'm asking you all these questions, Charlotte, is because I'm planning on going myself next year. So that's why I'm being a little bit nosy than usual. Any tips? I will give you a shout. Meanwhile, enjoy your cruise in a few weeks' time and have a magical day.
Thank you.
Want to join me as a podcast guest? Get in touch at PodMagical is where we are. Give us a like, give us a follow on the socials. Send any questions over there, or if you fancy coming on the podcast to chat all things Disney, love to get you on. If you're going to be going to Disney soon, tag us in your pictures as well, that we can follow along. If you are going to be going, it's going to be very, very hot. It's going to be very busy because not only are we into the summer months, it is the 4th of July on Thursday. And because Independence Day's fallen on Thursday, I think a lot of people are going to have like an extended weekend break. So expect Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even the Wednesday and the Monday after that to be very, very busy. You have got the 4th of July fireworks, though, which brings me to the top tip for the episode. Yes, it's a double whammy. If, like on New Year's Eve, you want to see the big fireworks because it's a massive display at the Magic Kingdom on the 4th of July, they also do them on the 3rd of July, which might be a little bit quieter. So I think it's 9:20 this year. So instead of Happily Ever After, you won't get that on the 3rd and 4th, on the Wednesday and the Thursday. You will get the 4th of July fireworks both nights. So they don't just do them on Independence Day, you'll get them the night before as well. So always a good thing to do. You can see the Magic Kingdom ones on the 3rd, and then also Epcot have their regular fireworks, but it's tagged with a special 4th of July one at the end. So you could do Magic Kingdom on one night and then the Epcot on the actual 4th of July. That is a top tip for this episode, incorporated with everything that is going on at Disney World at the minute, because there's no other festivals, there's no food or wine or flower or garden or Halloween or Christmas yet. So there's actually no festivals going on at the moment. We are getting ready for the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That is in preview at the minute, if you're going to get to see that, lucky old you. But do tag us in your pictures and do subscribe to the podcast, because I've got another episode coming in 2 weeks from now. Fortnightly episodes. Hit that subscribe button then you don't miss it. Until then, please stand clear of the doors.